You're listening to Heritage Radio Network.
Todd Richards here, Roots, Hearts,
and Soul.
You are listening to Roots, Heart, and
Soul. Yeah,
Roots,
baby.
Heart, and Soul podcast.
Stephan and I are launching this podcast based off cookbook Roots, Heart, and Soul by myself, Todd Richards, with a great help from Chef Stephan.
We're going to be hearing stories from Africa all the way to the Caribbean, all the way to the Americas. It's going to be something special.
Yes,
What's
sir.
up, buddy?
What's happening?
I'm good.
Long time no see.
Yeah, man. We have hectic lives, you and me.
Yeah, man. Tell me about it.
We have hectic lives. We have last minute stuff happening that takes us away from doing what we love.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we named the podcast Roots, Heart, Soul for a reason. And it takes a lot of Roots, Heart, Soul dedication, not only from us, but from our loyal fan base, that follow us throughout the myriad of travel and things that we do. So, hey, life is always life, but we're here for everyone else. So.
Listen, a couple days ago, I saw this post or this young lady who's a writer. She posted something on social media, and our book was behind her.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is always cool. You show up in strange places,
Yeah, I know, man. I like that. But I like that, though. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I was smiling. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So,
yeah.
What's been going on with you, man? Talk to me.
Hey, it's the Tuesday. The weather is getting fall. Life is changing, and we have to do it official. Let's welcome everyone to Roots, Heart, and
Soul.
Roots, Heart, Soul podcast. Chef Todd Richards, of course, the great Chef Stephan, in parts unknown. I think he's still in Vermont. I'm, of course, in ATL.
I am in Vermont.
In Atlanta.
I'm very happy to be in Vermont.
Yeah, I know. You traveled. You went up north to Canada. Came back. I'm glad they let you back in because it's been rough. It's been rough out there.
So great thing happened while I went up to Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't cooked in a bit, man. It felt like forever since I got into the kitchen.
Right.
And we did a brunch.
Mm-hmm.
We did a brunch with a group of great friends who I've done multiple events with in Montreal. And we decided to do a little brunch, 30, 40 people, last minute event, but still we were able to pull about 40 people within a week.
Wow.
Less than a week.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was great. It was wonderful, man. It felt good to be in the kitchen because I hadn't been in the kitchen for months.
Right.
And it felt good to be in the kitchen. It felt good to cook. It felt good to cook my kind of food.
Yeah, of course.
Some Haitian soul food.
Right.
We did some Haitian soul food. I did a dish called chicken neg bawon. So neg bawon is an emblematic slave that broke his chain and with the help of a conch shell sounded the made the announcement that the slaves were free in Haiti.
Wow.
So the dish is called neg bawon, which is black man.
Mm-hmm.
And the dish includes it's chicken cooked in a jonjon broth, in a mushroom broth, and with okra. So
Oh,
it's
man, oh
yeah.
man.
Oh man. Oh man. I tell you.
Right. Yeah, John John is always black trumpet mushrooms, though, right?
Yeah,
Always.
it is always, but yeah, it's a variety. It's a
Mm-hmm.
variety of black trumpet mushrooms. Yes,
Okay.
that is found in particularly that varietal only grows in Haiti.
Mm. Mm.
So
I mean,
yeah,
what's amazed me about that, just talking about John John, is that I used to make black trumpet mushroom risotto all the time, and just in just my early years of cooking, and to find out that I've been making something so historic to Asian cultures, and it's
it is so
fascinating.
full of umami, man, and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
the flavor that comes out of that mushroom is
Mhm.
absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think I did it and I poached some snapper, just to
Ooh,
it was like
ooh,
medium
that sounds good.
rare, chilled it, and then just some dehydrated John, pulverized it in a coffee blinder, you know, brushed a little bit
Oh,
of
you're gonna have to show me
and
how you do
seared
that one.
it. Oh yeah, yeah, seared it.
Oh, I'm stealing that one, buddy.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm stealing
Yeah,
that one, buddy.
yeah.
I am definitely stealing that one.
Yeah. I remember that was black on black. I remember that's the name of the dish.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
man, that sounds good.
yeah.
But
Had a little
and,
garnishing around. Yeah.
Montreal was great, and
Hmm.
then came back to Vermont. So I'm starting to build some traction over here.
Uh-uh.
And
Uh-uh.
I've
Got the
been
bigger.
like today. I got me a therapeutic massage. It was
Uh-uh.
great, and I feel
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
great. I'm ready to get back to work, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm ready to
And
get back to work.
that's a real massage. It wasn't a little. We can't. We can't say there was one of those legit places you
No,
went to.
no, she's good. She's very good. And she did some pressure points in where
Yeah.
I'm most in pain
Last
and
time.
stuff, and it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
So what
I
about
remember
you?
last time I was in New York, we went to that Korean. I went to that Korean spa in New York.
Hmm.
The Korean bathhouse, and
Yeah.
just sat on that floor. On that hot after the massage, just sat on that hot floor. Man, I got to create that hot floor somewhere. I mean, I slept, man. I didn't even know what time it was. You get 24-hour pass. That's like, man, do I really need to buy a 24-hour pass? That's the only thing they offer. Like, man, like I was here 12 hours.
Man,
Yeah.
my most memorable massage until today
Mhm.
was on my trip to Vietnam.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Bro, 2 hours,
Hmm.
$20. She put some hot rocks on my back,
Yeah.
stepped up, got up on the table and walked all over my back.
Yeah.
That was good. That was
Yeah.
good. So
Well, that's good.
let's talk food.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, you start talking about John John and everything. We're in fall season, and one thing that is really great. This is probably I would say this is probably my favorite time of year to cook. Even
Hmm.
though there's
Hmm.
but it's my I
Hmm.
mean everything that comes out of the ground is right up my alley. All the root vegetables, things like that. Celery roots, parsnip, uh, all the squash. Pumpkin. Um, Butternut squash, all those things are in season right now, and it's just really apple,
Oh yeah.
picking,
Oh yeah.
and I just believe that this is where the year is has the most balance in flavor. From bitter greens, to sweet root vegetables, beets,
Ooh.
orange beets, yams, sweet potatoes, Korean sweet
Hey, you
potatoes.
I
Yeah,
want to do some beach.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it's just
Well,
really just good.
well,
I'm talking about.
funny you're saying that, talking about
Mhm,
apples.
mhm,
A couple weeks ago, I went up to some place in Vermont. I was looking for a cannabis dispensary.
mhm,
We ended up finding their store.
mhm,
We went inside. I bought some cream for my legs and stuff.
mhm.
And then we went to this place where they do this apple cider maple ice cream.
What? Oh wow.
And then they gave me, and then I also bought a flight of different apple ciders. It was like
Mm,
six different glasses.
mm,
I tell you, man, you know, one of the things that people should do, and I'm not calling it a mistake, but that they should do,
mm.
is to discover and to go outside of the city of where you live
Absolutely.
and start to if you love food, if you love, you know, and then we went through this place where it was a farmhouse,
Mm,
but they left all the vegetables outside, and then they left a jar, and they
right.
said, "Pay as you please."
Mm.
So my aunt and I, we picked a bunch of vegetables, um, and came back to the house and did this beautiful ratatouille. I mean, it was nice, man.
No, I mean that makes it. One thing you talk about cider, and we're talking about fall here on this episode, and fall. Fruits, vegetables, from the farm, and and I would use that phrase "farm to table." Is that cider does not necessarily mean sweet, and
No, no, not
yeah.
at all. Not at all.
So in that six course tasting, you had a cider. Like, what was the range of flavors you had?
Oh wow. Um, some of them almost tasted like beer.
Mm, yeah, I can see that. So they're kind of fermentating already, a natural fermentation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Natural fermentation. It almost tasted like beer.
Wow.
Um, I tasted some different notes, even though it's an apple cider. You're tasting different notes. Tasted a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of cloves, nutmeg, in
Mhm.
one of them. It was nice, man. It was really, really nice.
I mean, pressing fresh apples to make juice. I mean, and allow it, to ferment. And the color is always great. And naturally, here in the South, we have the peach, we have the blueberry, we have all
Oh
those
yeah.
other fruits.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
but,
yeah.
but to me, it still starts with apple. I mean, apple cider. To me is where I always start. And then my granddad and his infinity love for apple butter has
Apple
always
butter.
yes,
Oh, that sounds good.
yeah. Yeah,
Oh, that
yes,
sounds
you
really
just
good.
peel the apples, chop them, cook them, cinnamon, clove, a little bit of molasses and everything like
Apple
that. Cook it to
butter.
it's caramelized, and then you puree it to it's smooth. I mean, one place that really people find it a lot is like Waffle House. Waffle House always has, they serve raisin toast, and raisin toast and apple butter is it's just natural. I mean, it's
Oh,
just a natural
raisin
thing.
toast and apple
Yeah,
butter. Oh, you
yeah,
got me going there, man.
yeah.
You
You
going
know,
there?
so you got to have You know, you gotta do the apple butter and
That
raisin.
that maple ice cream and apple cider from Vermont.
Mm.
Oh man.
Uh, and crisp bacon. Crisp bacon is so important. To that whole meal. Like I'm saying, like as a kid, my granddad, man. The toast was damn near burnt, and the bacon was too. You needed that kind of sweetness from the apple butter in order to make it, a little bit palatable, sometimes,
Oh
especially around the
man.
ends. But that to me is like really what epitomized fall foods. The put ups, the things like that.
You know what? I'm gonna try the before the weekend is over. I'm gonna try to make some apple butter
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Vermont makes some really, really, really good butter.
you're right.
Really good butter.
Yeah,
And it's made in Vermont.
right.
So I want to see if I can do if I can I want to try to see if I can make if I'll make that apple butter.
Yeah, so where you at in the region too? I mean, like you got salinity already in the apples,
Hmm.
in the Vermont, from the ocean. So like that's where those are really good. Here, in Georgia, our apples uh, have more minerality, in that flavor, from the terroir that's here, that clay and soil mixture that a
Oh
lot of
wow.
things grow
Okay.
in here. So you bite into an apple here, it has that kind of lot more earthiness. The skins could be a little bit uh, thicker than others, so they make
Hmm.
really good for like pies, cobblers, and things like that
Oh
because of the
wow.
thickness and the
Okay.
coarseness of it. And but the thing is a lot of times people here overcook them because their texture is so thick, they think that you have to cook it longer, but actually that texture is holding a lot of moisture, so you need to cook it actually less.
See, this is good. This is good to know, man.
Yeah, it's very, I mean, hell, it was 80 something degrees here today. So you think, these apples are still, warm, warm weather apples compared to, up north where you are, where that thinness of air, that coldness gets that, that skin
Yeah,
nice and
it's starting to get it's the cold is coming very slowly here.
yeah.
But it's beautiful outside, man. When I just drove to
Hmm.
go get my therapy,
Hmm.
and the trees are completely red.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, it's got
Yeah.
that orange and yellow, and I mean it's gorgeous, man.
Well,
It's
that's good.
absolutely gorgeous, man.
We still got another month here in the South, at least, to get started. But I mean, what else is growing in that region right now? I know it's apple season and things like that. What else do you
Lots
all?
of vegetables, lots of vegetables.
Mm,
I found some eggplants and
mm,
different kinds. So there's,
mm,
you have the much larger, much
mhm.
firmer eggplant, but you also have um, the
Japanese. Yeah.
Japanese eggplant, which is much longer. You
Right.
find that here as well, and peppers, all kinds of peppers. So we're not talking just yellow, red, and green peppers.
Mhm.
Um, the elongated peppers, just really amazing, man.
Love and Love Farm here. They're outside. They're far east on the east side of Atlanta. So they grow this heirloom variety of pepper. It's almost purple, like almost black and
I've
almost
never
a
seen.
dark purple. And when you bite into it, it resembles more like a poblano pepper
Uh-huh.
than it does necessarily just a regular bell pepper.
Uh-huh.
When you just julienne, you can pickle it because it's so the texture is so strong, so firm. I say not strong, but you can pickle it, you can saute it, and everything like that. You can roast it. It has that it reacts like a poblano, but it has the place or
Yeah,
the flavor of
yeah.
a
I've seen
bell.
poblanos here too.
Yeah.
Um, um, there's a lot of co-ops here, which I
Okay.
discovered. So there's a co-op that I'm gonna go check out soon, because it really brings all of the growers together from the area. There's a couple of co-ops here, and um, completely organic vegetables. Um, you know, um, corn
Yeah.
is we find a lot of corn here too,
Okay.
and
And what kind of varieties?
the corn is sweet.
Well,
It's almost like a light yellow,
hmm,
but it's really really sweet.
okay.
And the other day I was eating some, and I dropped a little bit of pink sea salt
Oh my goodness.
um, on on
Right.
on the corn with some butter,
Right.
bro, bro.
Yeah, that Vermont butter too, right?
Ooh, that Vermont butter is tasty.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, we talk about fall here, Roots Art Soul podcast, Chef Todd Richards, of course, the great Chef Stephan on Heritage Radio Network, Roots Art Soul podcast. And we're going through fall because we really want to have this pretense because we have Thanksgiving coming up,
Yep,
before we get to winter,
yep.
all the holiday parties. As well as farmers markets. This is one of the best times to actually go to a farmers market and go get vegetables because the bounty is here
I'm gonna
and
go try to
everybody come
check
to
out
them.
a farmer's market this weekend.
Yeah. Also crucifores, cauliflowers, the broccolis, all those will be coming into season as well. So I mean, this is the great time. If you want to switch your diet to like more of a vegetable focused diet,
Mhm.
I really this to me is one of the best time. Winter spinach. Winter
Ooh,
spinach that not the thin baby spinach. Baby spinach to me, oh my goodness,
you're
us
talking
as
about the
chefs.
big leaf spinach.
Yes, yes, the broadleaf spinach. Yes, not
Yeah.
the. I mean, us chefs, we create things, and then public consumption. Like, oh, you got to do baby spinach. You got. I mean, you can. It takes almost a damn near a pound of baby spinach to have one serving. Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
you
True
know,
that.
and is the flavor as prominent? As if you get some broadleaf spinach, just julienne it lightly, saute it, and it has more crisp, more texture. But what do you think about us as chefs focusing on baby vegetables, and where do we go after that?
You're talking about baby vegetables.
Hmm.
A chef friend of mine, of ours, Chef Manny, always goes to Ohio around this time. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
is it Ohio? Yeah, it's called the Chef's Garden. The
Yeah, Chef's
Chef's.
Garden. Yeah, yeah.
I definitely want to. I definitely want to do this trip, man.
Oh, field trip. Let's go. Roots Our Soul podcast on the road. Let's go.
I definitely want to do this trip, bro.
Yeah.
I definitely want to do this trip. Manny has been inviting me to go for the last, I don't know, 5-6 years.
Right.
And every time he's going, the timing is never right. But I think we need to make time to make this trip.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been there. I mean, naturally, all the best restaurants across the country, and I would say even in North America, order from there. And it's relative to cost. People say, "Oh, it's expensive." Well, I mean, growing delicious food is not
It's
cheap.
expensive. It's not cheap.
It's not cheap to grow. Growing food is not cheap.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I understand that our economy is in the toilet right now, and the price of food has gone up, but also the price of living has gone up, and either we eat right, or we're going to be paying in another way. I rather pay, you know, eating really delicious food, that I know where it's sourced, where it came from, than to get the hospital tray. Uh,
No,
Uh, and you know this all too well because you've been recovering yourself.
oh man.
That oatmeal that
Bro,
has no
I have
not
never
one
been
second
I have
sauce.
never been more depressed. I have never been more depressed when I see a hospital tray come my way.
Oh man, people ask, why did I join the board at Wholesome Wave? And Wholesome Wave, really started that food is medicine program, especially here at Grady Hospital, and
Mhm.
really, where doctors were writing prescriptions for vegetables, and that just tells you that we understand the link between health and what
And
we eat,
food. And
and not
food.
to get off the topic of fall vegetables,
No, no,
but
no,
really, what I
no.
say, it's really
I
this time of year is great.
listen. This time of year is the time where you can change your diet and
Hmm.
really enjoy different produce, different vegetables. Um, and it doesn't hurt to, I'm realizing living with my aunt here in Vermont. She's huge on organic foods and eating healthy and all that. And it's I'm starting to understand, and I'm reading even more the correlation between eating the right foods and staying healthy.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so
I
so
mean,
fall
yeah,
fall fall is really a beautiful time to get started. Uh,
one thing that we talk about uh, is in fall is soup season.
oh
And,
yeah,
and
oh
you
yeah.
know, just the root vegetable season, even chowder. Is this is chowder season, minestrone. Just basic bisque and
A
things
little
like that.
little sweet potato, a little
Yeah.
sweet potato. You know, chowder is would be nice.
Yeah. I mean, the best. I mean, but even things with broth, ramen, um, you know,
Hmm.
collard greens, mustard greens, with pot liquor and things like that. All that nourishment that goes inside of it. That having these really great vegetables to start with, in order to do so, really um, does well. And then teaching people how to make stocks, with like you
That's
take your
right.
onion skins, you scrub your onion skins so they're clean and everything. Save all those onion skins, caramelize them, or your garlic skins, caramelize them a little bit in the pan, and then build your stock from there. All that flavor that comes out of those
Ooh.
skins and things like that
And
is
then, and
another
then,
way.
and then the stuff you can freeze afterwards and
Oh yeah,
use them throughout the year.
absolutely. Chef Dwayne's mom used to. She would take she would buy a whole bunch of herbs and she would chop them, mix them with a little bit of water, and she would put them in ice trays and put them in the freezer. And every time she needed one, she'd just pop an ice tray out and put it into the dish. It was like, and then now you see on the shelves at all the stores that they got these little things of chopped herbs and all that stuff. I was
Mhm.
like, D mom been doing that since like 95, you know, doing that since 95, and things like that. It's really a great way. Saving carcasses. You do a roasted whole chicken, save the carcass, make stock. It costs you nothing more except for water and the fuel you use to take a carcass.
And believe me, buying stock um, uh, for for your home, even for your home, is expensive, man.
Yeah.
A liter of stock at the supermarket, it's like $6, $7, $8.
Yeah, you could buy half a chicken for that much. Cook the chicken, take the bones out, and then, well, if you want to do a clear stock, you debone the chicken first, and then make your stock with the bones. You want to do a roasted chicken
Mhm.
stock, roast the chicken, take the bones off, and then make the roasted chicken stock from that. So there's a lot of economical ways, in order to not only, especially in these times we're talking about, but to utilize the whole, animal, the whole vegetable and fruit that you should throw away onion skins. It just drives me crazy when I see people like just wash them, scrub them, and make all your stock with onion skins. That's the teriyaki sauce that I learned how to make in 1993. That we saved all the onion skins, and we started with onion skins, garlic skins, and ginger. Is how we started every teriyaki sauce.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's just using it. People use they cut the onion. They always have that bit left over. Save that. That's just caramelize that. For any stock that you're making, and you utilize.
We're having a little technical difficulty, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. We're
Yeah.
back. So you were saying, Chef?
No, I was saying that even the saving the skins of all those vegetables and everything, caramelizing. I just think you just feel better about utilizing everything that you have. If you utilize
Nothing goes to waste. And
it's,
this is something that we should all live by, whether you're a you're in a professional setting where you're cooking for others, or your home. Period. No waste.
yeah. I mean, eggshells. You have plants. Take them, put them in a blender, grind them, add some water to them, and then that's what you pour into your plants. I mean, those are just
Compost.
yeah.
Create compost, and you know um like me, I think I'm going to start growing some habanero, scotch bonnet,
Uh
and chili peppers.
Okay. All
I want to
right.
start. I want to start working on our hot sauce, on
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
roots, on our roots, heart and soul hot sauce.
Yeah. Make some tincture with that. You
Ooh.
know. I mean, I mean the recipe I have. The ghost pepper hot sauce.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I've been waiting. I've been waiting on getting to Atlanta to work on that hot sauce with you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. While we're wrapping up the last thing here about fall cooking and everything, the other thing that I really encourage people is to use the seafood that's in season right now. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, even
yeah.
though some of it could be pricey, like halibut and turbo and things like that, flounder is they say it's all year round, but flounder tastes best the water gets cold. Oysters taste
Mm.
best, when the water gets cold.
I
Yeah.
wonder. I wonder what kind of what kind of because there's this huge lake in Vermont,
Hmm.
but I'm not sure if there's any seafood that comes out of that.
Well,
But
there's only one way to find out.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just think about the crab. This time of year. It's either spring or this time of year. I mean, other than scallops. Oh man. I mean, winter scallops are you know, and people, of course, we want to use the big scallops. We want to use the U10s, the U5s, the big scallops. Yeah, it sounds great, but
Yes.
they're
The little
pricey.
EBD scallops are nice in a
Yeah.
chowder. They're nice in a, you know, um, a pasta dish. I
Uh,
mean,
Chef Evans, rest his soul, one of our great mentors. When we opened Spice here in Atlanta, I think this was 2000, yeah, 2000 actually. We did this dish called scallop Zinfandel. And so we took the little bay scallops, we breaded them, with herbs and all that stuff, fried them, and then the Zinfandel sauce was basically a tomato sauce with Zinfandel lime, reduced, some chilies and things like that. So it's just like it's almost like a Frito Misto when you think about it, but it was really breaded, so you had that crunch from the breadcrumbs inside with the tomato sauce and all that.
oh,
I mean,
oh,
and the scallops just had that bite, and we grated. Before everyone was using a microplane, just lemon zest right across the top.
you're
I
gonna have
mean,
to make that dish when I come down to Atlanta, man.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You're gonna have to make that dish when I come down to Atlanta.
That's about 8 dishes you said. That's about 8 dishes you said have to make. He give it a gig.
So
Well,
we're coming up with our to our half hour mark.
yes.
Uh, it's been a wonderful week, man.
Hmm.
Um, you know, it's been a wonderful week. Couple things that I should mention that happened the last couple weeks.
Hmm.
First, big up to our friend, our brother, um, um, Fabrice,
Yes,
on the success of Creole Food Festival in New York.
absolutely.
1,500 people.
Wow.
1,500 people
Yeah, under the Brooklyn Bridge, right?
under the Brooklyn Bridge, Timeout Market.
Yes.
So amazing, amazing. And then a big shout out to another friend, another brother, Chef JJ, on his event, The Cookout in New York.
Yes. Star
Sold out
studded.
event, sold out event,
Star studded event.
star-studded event. But I love that he created this event really to celebrate us, celebrate black and brown talents in the culinary world. And I told him, I said, I'm you and I are going to be there next year.
My schedule is freed up a great deal, right now. So it is great.
I
It is,
told him we definitely got to. We're definitely here in
right.
New York next year.
Yes. I mean, we have to be everywhere next year. We owe it not only to everyone else, we owe it to ourselves.
We owe it. We definitely
And
owe it to ourselves. We got to get back. We got to get back on the horse, man.
yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of things happening, of course, throughout the rest of the year. But one of the most important things, which is dear to all of us here, uh, is that a new restaurant is being launched.
Yes, it is. I
You know
am.
me,
I am. I am
I'm secret
super
squirrel.
excited about this, man.
I'm
I,
secret squirrel.
I am super excited about this, and I have a gift for you.
Oh, hey, hey,
I have a gift for you.
right,
Well, I have multiple gifts for you.
okay,
Because this is going to be a bombshell.
okay, all
Um,
right,
we're starting our social media campaign this week for Curiosity.
okay, let's
We're going
go.
to start putting stuff out.
Yes, absolutely.
And I've got a couple things. I've got a couple things under my sleeves.
All right.
Uh, listen, this is as much my project as it is yours.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about the opening of this amazing barbecue restaurant that's about to be a bombshell in Atlanta.
Yeah. So Curiosity is opening in McDonough, which is a south suburb of Atlanta. On a good day, it's 25 minutes from downtown. On a bad day, it could be 45 minutes. on the worst day, it could be forever. So I tell some people, you're going to travel short, some might travel long, but it's worth the drive.
Well,
Either.
it'll definitely be worth the drive.
Right.
It'll
Uh,
definitely be worth the drive. I can
Curiosity.
guarantee that.
The word curiosity, actually the first three letters is QUE, not CUR, even though we say it that way. It's really just talking about the world of barbecue, smoked meats, and things like that. And then every ingredient or every dish will have some component of being grilled, smoked, or treated as
Oh,
in the way of doing
I can't wait.
barbecue.
I
Hey,
can't wait.
we were talking, Gloria and I were talking with someone today, and like, what's the inspiration behind it? And really, it's just really great food for great people. First of all,
Absolutely.
we say Southern inspired barbecue influence,
Barbecue influenced.
but it's not limited to just that, in the sense that it's not a monolith. There won't be any. There's not, and please don't take this. Anyone will take this out of the way at all. It's just not going to be you know barbecue on a metal tray with a checkered paper
No,
and
no, 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 no.
so like it's absolutely
No.
nothing wrong with it. At Lake and Oak, I've done it at Rolling Bones. I've done it. They just really want it to be, where I believe that the next iteration or next evolution of where barbecue and smoked meats, these techniques, that you know this one that I do. These techniques, take a lot of time to master, and
Mhm.
and they don't necessarily have to always be relegated to the casual setting.
No,
They
they don't. No, they
yeah.
don't. But and that's the thing that we we wanna advocate,
Mhm.
and I believe we should continue to advocate, and people should understand that our food is not, uh, 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 um, you know, doesn't fit in one box.
Right.
It doesn't fit. It's not closed. It's not enclosed in a box. It can be anything we want it to be.
Yeah.
It could be anything we want it to be. Uh, oxtails don't have to be served in a foam plate.
No, no, I'm not going to enjoy them any less because it was or because it wasn't. It has to be cooked properly in order to ensure that, that what we're serving is actually what it
You
should be,
know,
you know.
and I think when you have a chef driven restaurant, you are you have to go that extra mile, that extra, and say, hey, I can still serve you barbecue, but it don't have to be this way or that way.
Correct. Correct.
So,
Correct. I mean, I would say, just some dishes to highlight that we're looking forward to, and the reason why we're talking about seasonality, uh, the lamb neck braised oxtail side style with sweet potato chutney and the pulled apart.
uh,
You know,
uh,
yeah, I mean, lamb neck
you know,
is going to be so
you're gonna
so
have to
great.
have that. You're
Yeah.
gonna have to have the duck on the menu too, right?
So the duck is on the menu. We're smoking duck, and we're doing it with a true red velvet waffle. And so instead of using, food coloring, we'll be using beet extract, cocoa powder. We'll be making it from scratch,
Oh,
and things like that. And then not only would the duck be smoked, we'll also be smoking the maple syrup that goes on there as well.
okay. You have a rocking chair or a small bed in the kitchen, right?
Absolutely, and then
'Cause I'm coming to stay.
yeah, right, of course,
So
yeah.
so you know, I'm coming to stay, man.
Yeah. The catfish that you're in the region because we're going to be importing the catfish out of the Chesapeake Bay,
Oh,
and
nice.
and people who don't understand Chesapeake Bay catfish, it is a larger, more adult catfish, and it flavors more like sea bass than it is necessarily to what we're used to
Nice.
in Mississippi. And that's going to be a steak. We're going to cut it, bone in, marinate it, then grill it, with, blackened seasoning and things like that. So we're representing the diaspora, we're
Ooh,
representing the South, representing the culture, but we're using really fine
ooh,
ingredients in order to do so. One
man, I'm excited.
right quick, let me say to our listeners this. One
I'm
dish that
excited.
when I got nominated for Beard Award when I was at the Ritz Buckhead was that that catfish eel style. And we took that belly off the catfish and we cured it and did just like eel, and that texture looks just like beautiful eel. That's the exact same way that we're going to kind of have that understanding, that nice, warm, beautiful fat,
This is going to
with
be
that meaty
incredible,
texture
man. This is going to be incredible, man.
of the catfish. I mean, that to me is like,
This is going to be incredible, man.
yeah, you know.
It'll
So
absolutely be incredible. So I wanted to bring this conversation to light,
let's go.
and we're going to be bringing him back to the podcast because I think this is a conversation that needs to be had. And I texted him yesterday and I said, "Listen, Chef, I think we need to bring you to the podcast. I listened to the episodes that you did, and I think this is a conversation that needs to be had on a higher level." So I was listening to Chef Eduardo Jordan yesterday and the day before yesterday, and him sharing um, very painful story, to be honest. Um, 20 some plus years of investment in his career, in his restaurant, and to be canceled. He pretty much lost everything. And the closing of his restaurant was not due just to, COVID and stuff, but it was due to something else. He was accused of being inappropriate with um, some employees, and all of a sudden, um, it became more than, and this is not new in terms of stories itself, but it's new to our people because this is not something that we don't have that kind of temperament, if you will.
Well, full disclosure, we're talking about this. I've known Eduardo for many years. Uh, I've eaten at his restaurants when they were open several times. Made pilgrimage there to eat there. Um, uh, was very proud of him when he got the James Beard, award and things like that. Really groundbreaking. And cancellation happens, in our control and without in outside of our control. You know, and though I don't know the whole story, I want him to tell his story because I don't think it's fair,
I think that's why I want to bring him back.
to do so. Our industry has had a very difficult time uh, uh, policing itself,
Hmm.
and when you don't take care of those things yourself, uh, forces outside of you will do it for you. And it's not
Yeah,
saying that he didn't do it, or anyone else who was in this predicament or this situation. What I am saying is that that in independent businesses across the board, that HR is typically not there. You know,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
no HR function. The rules and regulations may not be necessarily laid out, and then we try to have this quote unquote family environment,
Correct.
and
Where we're a little more relaxed. We're lax. We joke with each other. We play with each other sometimes, um, in a very friendly way, and that can at any time that can be misconstrued as something else.
absolutely. So the thing is that if we don't police ourselves, someone would do it for you. There's a lot more ways to have HR structure in your restaurants now or any business than ever before. I mean, you look at, whatever payroll company you have, they provide HR structure for your company and things like that. And then the family environment, is probably the most overrated thing I would say in restaurants ever. That it's all good and well until somebody's check is wrong, or you have to terminate an employee, or or someone thinks
Yeah,
they're up for
yeah,
promotion. So I mean, it's really not. I mean, it's the most difficult thing is to open a restaurant with family because you're bound to them regardless of what business you have.
and then people don't put their emotions in check.
Yeah.
You know, a little thing can set you off, or I said, I said something to you as your boss, and you took it the wrong way.
In this day and time, we do have to be more sensitive to it, but also on the other side, we can't baby people either.
No, no,
We cannot manage out of fear, of retaliation. And when you have that fear of retaliation from the person you're disciplining, then that's a whole nother gamut of things. I mean, there's no secret that insurance has gone up in restaurants across the country because of HR issues alone. that
right,
that, that the fear
right.
of retaliation from employees, you know, whether it's going to be in social media, and legal systems. I'm not saying it's either justified or not justified. I'm not saying that. I'm
No,
not here to
no,
query, with that. I'm just saying that the retaliation, is costing everyone more money, and so we just need to nip things in the bud in the beginning, and then keep the structure of what a business is, up
that's
front.
right. That's right. You know,
But for uh, Eduardo in his case, to not to be able to go back and open another place, um, if it's heartbreaking in a sense
it is
that
heartbreaking.
it was not only him, it was his family. It was his parents that helped him with that restaurant. It was people in his household that helped him in that restaurant. So not only did it affect him and what he's
It
happening,
affected everybody.
and then not only the community, and I'm not saying one is more important than the other. If someone was actually victimized, their pain should not be measured any less than what his is. You know, how do everyone regroup out of that and move forward is the questions I want to ask.
Mhm. I completely agree with you, man.
Yeah, and then hopefully help find a pathway to get him back into running really great restaurants.
Yeah, absolutely, because he's a super talented chef. Um, and again, we have to keep ourselves in check at all times.
Yeah,
We can be friendly and respectful, and we also need to keep boundaries in place so that, um, if something occurs, we have a grip and we know how to handle it.
yeah, it's one thing to fraternize with the management because you're basically on the same level with line employees, things like that. It can be very difficult to understand how to navigate through those things because and then us as chefs, there's a level of respect and admiration that we naturally carry, especially if you become award winning or you become that quote unquote celebrity title. There's a
Mhm.
lot of awe and things like that. So just being in the grace in a company can be misconstrued of things. And we as chefs have different personalities, in the business of being a chef compared to who we are at home. There's no secret that Todd Richards and Todd Richards are two totally different people.
Absolutely, absolutely, we are.
Two totally different people, in the same
Absolutely.
body, and ensuring that we can, have a pathway of doing so.
Yeah.
Because our business right now is in perils. Our migrant workers have dissipated, which means that the cost of food is going up, and then also the labor pool has gone down. So
Right.
talented chefs and things like that have dissipated, as well as other factors in the food world, such as availability of product. Global warming is a big thing in the sense where we don't have all the food ways and things like that, to move forward. So there's a lot of different things that we have to look at, from a restaurant standpoint, in order to make sure that we can do these things and do these things properly, you know, moving forward.
I agree, man. I agree. There's a lot. There's a lot to be mindful of. There's a lot to think about. There's a lot to protect. There's it's a lot. It's a lot,
Yeah.
and it's not as clean cut, black and white as a lot of people think, man.
Well, I mean, the profitability of restaurants, 10 to 12% is good profitability, 10 cents on the dollar, and things like that. And then understanding, I mean, there's just a whole things outside of what we're speaking about, with Chef Jordan. There's rules changes, and as we close up here the last 10 minutes here, Roots Heart Soul Podcast, Heritage Radio Network, Chef Todd Richards, and of course, the great Chef Stephan. One thing that I have seen in social media, where the uproar has really continued to go, is in the realm of what people are talking about is automatic gratuity. Auto gratuity has
You know
been,
what? That's been a big conversation.
you know, automatic gratuity has been one of the, service charge. I'm going to say service charge, tipping, and auto gratuity have been a big topic of conversation among social media over this last couple of weeks, and probably last month. And one thing that I want to start this conversation off with is really telling people the truth behind auto gratuity tips or any type of money to the servers.
Hmm.
Gratuity is a contract between the server and the patron.
That's correct.
Restaurants are fiduciaries, just like restaurant collects taxes and they distribute it to the government. They collect tips and they distribute it to the server. There is a contract between those two entities.
Hmm.
Automatic gratuity is a policy that the restaurant puts in place in order to ensure that employees are receiving gratuity. That could be A, because of the type of concept. B, it could be the location in which people don't actually, provide gratuity, or other factors that do so. However, restaurants are not allowed, it is against the law for us to take gratuity and use it in our restaurant for our own purposes. The other reason why
Yeah.
auto gratuity might take place is to ensure that is a tip pool, meaning that everyone during the shift will work together, and the monies will be distributed evenly against with all the servers there who are there as well.
That's
No,
right.
no, that is what it is. It is not a get rich scheme for restaurants or anything like that. So now, do
And we've
people?
seen and we've heard and seen
Yes.
some restaurants do just that.
Mm.
Collect the tip and not give it to their employees.
But that is not the general rule. That's the first. It's not the rule at all. Secondly, that is not the general practice. 99% of the restaurants do it the proper way. The 1% are the outliers. So let's get that. And then the final thing I say before I let you jump in, Stefan, is that one thing that is hurting, especially minority-owned restaurants that do auto gratuity. The big beautiful bill states that auto gratuity, the servers cannot claim the tax credit up to $25,000 on anything that's done auto gratuity. They must have a written statement where the patron has put the money in and signed that slip to say that that gratuity is given to them. That's the only way that they will get a credit for the up to the $25,000 for tips. If you're doing auto gratuity and then you try to file that on your taxes, that will not happen. You will not get
Oh
that
wow.
be able to claim that. Nor if a person puts in, if they give you cash, they don't put the cash amount on the slip and sign it, you cannot claim as well.
Oh
So
wow.
I just want to say all those things about
No,
gratuity.
this is important. This is
Uh,
really important for both patrons and restaurateurs if they didn't know it.
right.
To know it's really really important.
Yeah. So art of gratuity, let's just keep it real. They say black people don't tip. I mean, some people do, some people don't. I've been in places where nobody tips, But I mean, really, what is the policy of the restaurant? Restaurant is only collector and distributor of those tips, and that's it. And at any time a patron feels like they do not want to do art of gratuity, they, by law and by standard, can ask the general manager to remove the gratuity.
Right.
You are not required to do so. I don't care how they color it as in service charge or auto gratuity, everything like that. The only time that I've seen that by law they can be done is if there's a party of a certain amount of more, in which that is printed on the menu and in which you understand that when you order the food.
Right. Oh wow.
So,
Well, you definitely taught me something today, man.
well, I mean, I've seen it. It's been a great talk of discussion, and every time I see it, I remind people of this: is that is a contract between the patron and the server. It is not. The restaurant employs it, and then people, also say, well, we should pay servers $20 an hour on average, on average, and especially in a casual, upscale, fine dining restaurant. Servers and bartenders make more money than line cooks and hosts, and
Correct.
they make that money through gratuity. The reason why restaurants don't pay servers, more than X amount of dollars, usually, minimum is 219 up to $5 an hour, is because their wages, from gratuity exceed the amount of money that they would be normally paid if they were not doing so.
Correct.
If a server
Correct.
has $100 in tips and they work 4 hours or 5 hours, that's $20 an hour,
Yeah.
right? Plus they get their $2.19 to $5 an hour. They're making 22 to 20,
25 to 25, $26 an hour.
right, for 4 hours or 5 hours of work, and that's minimum. Even in places like Starbucks and things like that, it's to offset wages. If we had to really go in and pay everyone, then the price of your menu or food menu will go up exponentially.
Oh, well, absolutely.
If it's at 20%, you definitely will see 25% menu price increase right across the board.
Oh,
Which
absolutely.
I want everyone to hear this, and you can say it. I'll say this out loud. I have no problem with abolishing tips if people want to pay the true wage. I mean, the true cost of what it needs to pay people.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I think I was having this discussion actually with my aunt who
Mm,
was saying that, servers here are, are don't really give you the time to and this is somebody that's lived in France, lived in Europe, different mindset, different culture. Um, European servers, in my from my discussion with her, seem to get paid that level of pay so that they're not worried about tips.
correct. Absolutely. 1,000%. But we got 1 minute here left. Stefan, I just want to give that now, and we could pick this up next week. We want to
Oh,
go through the whole thing, look at some extra
we'll
numbers.
continue this conversation next week, man.
All right. Get us out of here, my friend.
Well, everybody, this is our Tuesday night conversation. Chef Todd Richard and Chef Stephan on Roots Heart and Soul podcast. We thank you for joining us. Continue to support, continue to follow, continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will continue to work really hard on bringing you great conversation, great guests, and always talking about great food. We bid you good night. We'll see you next Tuesday.
You're listening to Roots Heart Soul podcast on Heritage Radio.